The Cat 745C doesn't have a lot of add-ons. It has a fuel carrier, a container hauler, and it does pretty good at both. But where it really shines is the medium logging add-on. But how good is it in the deep mud, snow, and breakable ice of Imandra? Let's find out. Welcome to Kola Peninsula. Let's get started. On the last two episodes, we've been working our way into the Imandra map, and we've uncovered pretty much everything except for the northwest corner. So today we're going to work on the Power to the Masses contract, where we need to haul 3 loads of medium logs to the substation in Imandra. There is a logging station that has 2 loads of medium logs, but the third load will have to come from Lake Cove. So let's get loaded up here and haul the first load into the Imandra map. The Cat 745C, also known as the Big Cat, is a perfect truck for this job. I've given it the biggest engine, the advanced special gearbox, and I put the 71-inch MSH2 tires on. These tires have an off-road rating of 1.7 and a mud rating of 3.2. So we're going to try them out and see how well they do in that map. We'll make our way over to the logging station that's up by the factory and we'll get loaded. The Big Cat is pretty fuel hungry, so we'll make sure that we top off at the pit stop camp before we head into the other map. This is a pretty epic logging truck and I think it's perfect for the job. Some other trucks that might be good for this also would be like the Mastodon, the Big Kenny, or even the Plaid if you have that truck now. But since we haven't skipped ahead and we have only been using the trucks that we found so far, this is going to be the best logger that we have in the fleet. Now that we're loaded, we'll head back down to the ice and we'll get topped off. Let's get turned around and we'll cross the ice in the narrowest spot. This will be our first experience seeing how well it does in this breakable ice. With the 71-inch tires, we shouldn't have any issue at all. The articulated steering also helps quite a bit. When you start getting bogged down in some of that ice, you can steer left to right and it just kind of pulls itself through it by working the wheels back and forth. I'm going to drive as much as possible with the all-wheel drive turned off because it definitely makes a difference in fuel consumption. We'll turn down towards the ice here and take the safer route by going around these rocks. If you're not comfortable going around that sketchy pole, you'd be better off going this way every time you come through here. And we already know this route. We've been taking it on the last few trips that we moved into Imandra, but this truck seems to be handling it the best out of everything we've used so far. Really doesn't have any issue at all on this map. Even the deeper muddy spots, as long as you have the diff lock engaged, it just cruises right through it. The last time we used the Big Cat was in White Valley in Alaska when we did the logging missions there. It performs well. The only real downside to it is you pretty much always have to have the diff lock engaged when you're going over rough terrain because it has minimal suspension travel, and it seems like there's always at least one wheel kind of off the ground and spinning in the air. So it can be a long trip at times when you're always running in low, but that is why we're using the advanced special gearbox, so we have low plus. Now that we're in Imandra, let's see how well it does going through this first big mud pit. The 71-inch tires make a big difference for ground clearance. There is a reason why we're doing this contract next. Just like when we did the strategic reserve contract, the reason was to activate the task, broken power station. That'll be the first task that we need to complete in order to open the garage here. And that task requires us to haul 2 middle beams into the same corner of the map to the same drop off as this load. So by running this truck over there first, we'll have a capable vehicle that's already in that area. And that way when we come in with the Taiga, we won't have any issues. If we get stuck or tip over, we'll have a vehicle in the area that we can use to rescue ourselves. Alright, leaving the airport runway, we're just going to run straight off into the snow. This snow is really hard to get through with pretty much any truck, but this truck is eating it right up. And we're going to sneak through the trees over here, right down to this house. There is a task here that we haven't activated yet. This is a keepsake where we'll have to visit the old abandoned ship that's just outside the runway to the northeast. We'll continue down the shoreline. There are some huge boulders coming up, and a lot of trucks do really struggle to get through here, but this one seems to be handling it quite well. And then straight ahead we have one way that we can cross the river. There's a concrete slab connecting the two sides, but there's a lot of breakable ice through here, so you want to make sure you drive on the dark blue spots if you're in any of the other trucks. But this thing pretty much drives right through that breakable ice like it's not even an issue. I think we picked the right vehicle. We can grab this waypoint here. That's for one of the tasks that we've activated. And then we can climb right over the rocks to avoid going through that ice on the left. Now we'll just follow the shoreline, and just up ahead here, there's another waypoint that we can get while we're going through here. And now there's a couple ways you can go from here. I'm going to turn left instead of following it further down the ice, and we'll just cruise right along the edge of the water on this section of big chunks of ice. You're usually pretty safe to drive on them as long as you don't go too fast. That road right there is the main reason why I wanted to have this truck over here. Coming through there with the Taiga is going to be a little bit more difficult. So it's nice to know that we have this truck in the area and can pull it through if we need to. We'll head back down onto the ice and follow the right side shoreline. There's a lot of breakable ice there on the left. Just try to avoid it. and then we'll go underneath this bridge, get down on the riverbed, and then we'll make a U-turn and go up the other side. We've made it to our destination. This is the substation. We'll get this load delivered, then we can turn around and we're gonna take this fuel trailer and haul it back down to the ice. That way it's in a little bit easier location for us to use it to fuel up in the future. Now leaving and going out of here, we can just drive right off these rocks. We'll follow the edge of the water down a little ways, and then we'll just cross right where it ends here. On the next episode, we're going to come back in here with the Taiga. We need to haul a couple of loads of metal beams over here to do the broken power station task. Hopefully you come back and check it out. I'm looking forward to it. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching, everybody.